as we're able to here. Can't hear anything. This is a problem. Hold on a second. Testing. Can you hear me now? Hopefully you can hear me now. Hearing now? No? Okay. Hopefully you can hear me now. You can see my face. So maybe that does mean that you guys can hear me now. Listen, we're not perfect at this. Anyway, talking about Baker's Day, 22 of 23, quarters 2 through 4, and first quarter 0 for 5 start. We're going to start with the first quarter. Obviously, we're alive. Sorry about that. Apologize. Starting out here, we have takeoff by number 1, right? We have a little settle route here. Eventually, Nuku will end up settling from this side, and then we will get a curl with a flat on the backside. So we do see unfortunate early decision making. And listen, you might hear my son yelling in the background downstairs. Hopefully that doesn't go crazy. We usually do these on Tuesdays. He's not at the home, but he's here, and if it gets distracted, so be it. So quick throw. We're going to take a look at the decision making that started this first quarter. Interception here. This is what I'm talking about with Baker and Odell. You would really prefer to see him come off of this decision here or make a back shoulder throw, because the leverage of the corner down to the bottom of the screen is so good that unless it's a back shoulder throw, it's just not going to work out. And that's a tough back shoulder throw, because if you look at it, guys, he's throwing this thing, he's going to throw this thing nearly 50 yards in the air, right? And that's back shoulder throws are meant to be stopped short. And it's usually a throw made in the 20 to 30 yard range. So it's a tough throw. What you would like to see him throw here is come off of this front side takeoff route and come to the back side where he has a nice little curl flat read on number 24 right here. This is what you would like him to read. If he chases the swing route, you have the curl settling into this window right here. It's an easy throw. So this is what you would like to see him throw. He does give Odell a shot. The ball is not anywhere near where it needs to be. The end zone view shows you a better look of where this thing ended up. We're going to skip past when Odell injures his knee because it's not worth watching. It's painful. So this ball, usually they reach 3 from the sideline on these for quarterbacks when you're throwing fade routes and you're giving your guy a chance. Unfortunately, you can see where this thing ends up. It's really far inside. It's not – even though Odell doesn't have his eyes around quick enough, it's still not a ball that's going to be caught. And Darius Phillips makes a nice play on the interception. But overall, pretty bad decision to start throwing this ball in this manner and with the level of accuracy here, especially considering he has to his left side, which he kind of feigns looking left. He looks like he's maybe trying to check Njoku off the snap. You can see his eyes right there, but he, at all intents and purposes, was going to go back to the right, and just a really inaccurate throw. So tough start. We're going to skip over the incomplete pass. There was another one on a screen that was incomplete that we will not watch. But this is a third down throw, so situation so you guys can see. Maybe a little confusion in alignment here. So still in the first quarter. If I can stop it, right? Okay, sorry, apologies. 3rd and 5. So 3rd and 5 throw they've run. This is the second possession. A little bit of confusion on where to align. I think there was some confusion which took place when these guys were figuring out who was taking over for Odell, some of those things. And we just have on the left side here a pretty simple high-low concept where they're trying to read this invert defender right here. They're just going to run 10 yards with a little square underneath it. You're just reading the invert. If he stays high, you have a nice little window right here. If you get a chase inside, you feel like you can throw over top, you can make that throw over top. So that's the play side, what he ends up reading here. If I can get rid of the marker and stuff. Could have thrown the square in here. I probably would have preferred the square in, especially considering how the corner trips. He's taking a one-on-one shot to somebody, decides with the 3rd and long situation, he wants to take the one-on-one shot to his tight end. Unfortunately, that's the wrong throw. It ends up sailing high. He does get pressure here. So, I would prefer he goes to the square end, does miss high to his tight end. His tight end is also a possible place he can catch the football, but I think he would want to go to his square in here. little something that Jedrick Wills has to work on is losing people late to the inside at the top of his pass set. He kind of anchors pretty well against the long arm we see from Lawson there, but he loses them late inside, and Baker kind of can't finish the follow through and misses it high. But you would like to see him see the square in underneath it from Higgins for a first down. So we're 0 for 3. Now, same first quarter, obviously. 2nd and 14. Motion out of the backfield. You're going to get an idea. It's a man look idea, right? You can tell they're pressuring. They're walking people down. You got 3 over 3 right here. I'm thinking, man, he thinks the right thing, which is I need to get this football up the seam. I have an Njoku, right decision. Just delivers it a bit too far. Again, don't mind the decision. Good throw on 2nd and 15. You got a matchup one-on-one. I think Njoku kind of slows down, expecting to maybe see something back shoulder here with his 2 hands on, and it ends up just being a little too long for him. Okay, so, I don't – other than the first throw, I haven't minded so much the decisions, but we just have not been able to make a connection. So, again, I don't have a problem with the decision. You can't really see it very well to your left side here. But he's sort of locked with him, doesn't run very smoothly. With Njoku, you want to give him a chance to go up and get it. And that's what Baker's trying to let him do, is go up and get it. It's just out in front of him a bit too far. So last first quarter throw here, we're 0 for 4 with an interception at this point. Another 3rd and long, same play. It's the very next play, 3rd and 14. We're going to get some inside curls where they know they're getting a sort of 2-under, 2-man look here, right? These 2 playing deep half. It's a cover 2 look, and you got inside guys chasing. You can tell it's cover 2 because we do have a honey hole up here. If Baker wanted to take that throw to the top of the screen, that's a throw you can make. I mean, against cover 2 with corners peeking inside, this is definitely has a chance to be a touchdown ball with this safety squatting. There's a big hole to throw here. I really don't hate where he decides to throw it because Jarvis is working back outside. This man here is working back outside into a pretty sizable window. It's just not a very accurate throw. So again, this is a touchdown ball if he sees it. He doesn't see it, but this is okay on 3rd and 14 locking in a little bit. It's just got to be a wider throw. It has to be outside more to lead Jarvis into that open window. You can see it from the end zone view here pretty well. 5-step drop. You could see it. We want him to deliver this football in this area. Once Jarvis pushes wider, he just leaves it too far inside, has to squat down, as you see right here, and that DB is able to get his left arm in. Kind of lucky it didn't bounce higher and ultimately result in an interception. So, again, I would prefer him to throw the honey hole touchdown throw, but for right here, it's not a bad decision to throw this because if you put it out on the numbers here, it's a first down, maybe more. Maybe Jarvis makes somebody miss. But it's an incompletion. Lucky didn't get picked. So we're at the end of the first quarter. Any questions that we wanted to throw up at the end of the first quarter before we get into the good stuff? Do you believe Baker plays better without Odell since he's – I wrote about it. I don't know. It's a mystery. There's always there could be some credence to the idea that he doesn't feel forced in his mind. Not forced, not that Odell's doing anything, but as a quarterback, if you have a great receiver, you're always thinking of how do I get that person the ball? Is this the right time to say screw the scheme and just throw him the football no matter what because he can make plays for you? There's something to that. I think sometimes quarterbacks let that get in their head, and on certain schemes that guy will get wide open, and it's why didn't you throw it to Odell? Well, maybe that wasn't in the progression. Well, he was open. Give him a chance. Sometimes you have to say screw. I think Baker's better when he just reads – believes what he sees, reads, and throws, and worries less about what's on the other end of the read and worries just about the read itself. I don't care who's catching it. I'm going to put it in the right spot based on what the defense is telling me. I think there's some believability to that. I don't know. It's hard to sit here and say that losing Odell Beckham Jr. makes your offense better. We'll get some evidence about this later on. But there's a little bit of the idea that Baker is a little bit clearer in thinking when that happens. Any other ones? Thank you for the $3 donation, TJS 800. Appreciate that very much, man. Very kind of you. Did you see Baker looking at more reads this game? First options. Listen, he didn't come off of his first read very often, and that's because he got his first read right. I'm encouraged that he got his eyes to the right spot off the snap right away. that's an encouraging step for him because he's been looking in the wrong direction, in my opinion, quite a few times. So while Cincinnati, I believe, only got him to look off of his first read 3 or 4 times, I don't care so much as long as his first read is the right read and he's making the throw. So I believe that is a great thing for him to do, is get the first read right. We go from there. He did come off of his first read a few times and threw accurately. So that's an encouraging sign too. Was the first game in a while where Baker controlled his throws more? Yes. I tweeted out after the Pittsburgh game, he had not thrown any back shoulder throws in non-red zone situations, and I did see back shoulder throws. I did see some spot throws up the sideline. It felt like a guy in more rhythm and more belief in what he was doing, and certainly seeing the field in a way that I think that it reminded me, not to say that he is playing the way he did as a rookie, but reminded me of the way he was playing as a rookie. So we will see if that continues. But I definitely think there was better touch on the ball, all of that stuff. Any others? Why doesn't he throw lob passes anymore? He seems to not throw with touch and tries to rocket the ball every time. I thought he did throw with better touch on some of the throws this game. I think he threw some nice fade balls up the sideline. I do want to see him throw with some more finesse on some shots in certain areas. I do agree. Overall, he needs to throw with more touch, but I thought there were some encouraging throws with touch in this game that I think were encouraging signs of him understanding wide receiver pace and the pace you have to put on the football sometimes to lead guys in the right direction. But that's overall not a bad point. I think I see a $2 from James. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Anytime you guys do give that money, we appreciate it, man. There's a lot of effort and film cutting and time spent going into this, and you don't ever have to donate. We're not asking for that, but that stuff is greatly appreciated. So continuing on. I know Kareem dropped a screen pass, but it looked like his potential for a big gain. Thinks fans call enough screens. No, I think they need to call more screens. They had a nice wide receiver screen on the goal line in the drive we're going to talk about coming up. But in general, more screens. I think that's to come. All right, let's keep going. We'll come back to more questions in just a little bit. So now let's get to the good stuff. So this is the first completion, second quarter, just a simple boot fake. Cincinnati was much better in this game, squatting on backside play action. They were burnt by it in week 2, and a nice job here. But this is a great scheme. I like quickly driving in. Watch Jarvis at the top of the screen here, drive inside, sell, run, and push back out. Simple stuff, but you don't have to make football complicated all the time, and that's what we see here. Nice job by Baker extending the football. I think you continue to have to be crisp with your footwork here. Put the football out there, show the defense that buys you the necessary split seconds to be able to deliver all of your boot fake action stuff. Continuing on, still in the same drive, 2nd and 11 now. Just a simple slant flat concept, right? You're reading this invert defender down here. If he chases, you have a window. Unless this linebacker hauls into the window, it's football 101 stuff, man. If he chases, throw the slant. If he squats with depth from the corner, throw the flat. It's just simple stuff. There was some simple stuff that he did right finally in this game with some of these throws that he's been doing since high school. And sometimes you do have to the KISS method is real, man. Keeping it simple, stupid is always going to help your quarterback. 1, 2, 3, very controlled footwork. I do see somebody had said something about his feet seemed controlled. I would agree with that. His feet did seem more controlled in this game. Now we're down on the goal line where Baker's been really killing it in the red zone this year. Much more decisive approach than we saw last year. I think what I like here is that he feels the blitz. He had 2 slants at the top of the screen, feels the blitz. He can either throw the fade to Peoples-Jones or he can read this simple out route. So, all right, we have there he is. What's up, man? Then we have a takeoff, and then we have slant to the backside. He's just reading and knows that this man is locked on. I'm just going to try to make him beat him, right? Lock him down. Brian is becoming a really effective pass catcher. He gets collisioned at the top of his route, still gets out of it quick, and the ball's delivered quickly to him. Nice decisive throw on the goal line. What you want to see? It's good stuff. Nice spike, by the way. He's got that going for him. It seems to be his go-to move. Right, eyes left, 1, 2, 3, get it out. Quick 3 steps, balls out accurately. Nice catch. And Bryant's a good goal line target for quick throws like that. Still here in the second quarter. No, we're at the third quarter. If there are any questions, I'll take it real quick. Anything worth throwing up? Do you think tight ends will become an even bigger part? Yes, absolutely. Once they get Hooper back after the bye, those three guys, you'll see a ton of 13 personnel. They'll lead the NFL in 13 personnel. I have no doubt about that. Is it time for the tight ends to step up? I don't see the Browns signing a big-name wide receiver, but rather, yes, I think they're going to try to keep Njoku, Hooper, actively involved all the time because Baker likes throwing to those bigger tight end targets up the seams, and they'll continue to use them. I certainly think that they're going to keep all three of those guys very actively involved and will be a big part of it. And then they'll mix in Landry. They'll obviously have him as their starting receiver, and then they'll mix in Higgins, and it's a nice group of it's a nice skill group for them. Why do you think Baker seems to struggle more against zone than man? It seems he's honey holes cover two a lot, just doesn't seem to attack them. I don't have a great answer for that. I just think that teams have identified that he doesn't see. He doesn't, let me put it this way. I think in man, he trusts his eyes more. In zone, he doesn't always believe what he sees. I think that there's some element to him needing to take what's going on in preparation into the game and attack some holes in zone coverage. He's not, that's a true statement. He's certainly more proficient, I think, against man-to-man than he is against zone, but that's because quarterbacks who don't read defenses at the top level of the NFL all too perfectly tend to be more confident, more decisive against man coverage. So what you hope is that his exposure to zone coverages as his career wears on, he can keep getting better at them, and you can see some baby steps in that stuff. And I think we saw a few, not enough so far. Is there anything that Higgins does that stands out besides having good chemistry with Baker? He is an Odell, but do you think he has traits? Yeah, I think he catches the football consistently well. I think he's a precise route runner, has good body control when he's doing any sort of body flipping sort of catches back shoulder, going up and getting the football. He's proficient enough. I don't think he excels in any one area. He's just a very solid receiver who Baker has a good feel for how fast he is on a football field. And that's just as important as somebody being lightning fast. It doesn't matter if your quarterback is not fantastic at throwing you the football because they can't get your speed level down. I think that that's something that Baker has, is a feel for the pace at which Rashard Higgins plays the game. Very important. Any others? What are your thoughts on Higgins can't see the field unless everyone else is hurt? I don't know. I've been asked about this question 100 times since last week. It seems as though maybe it's a practice habit thing. Maybe it's a way he rubs off on his position coach. Maybe it's because he doesn't play a ton of special teams. There's any number of reasons why, and it could link up to any of the things I've said. Not a great practice player, doesn't get actively involved in a ton of special teams, and there's some flexibility other guys have to be special teams aces, like Kadero Hodge and JoJo Natson, things like that. I think those all play into it, but I think it's getting to the point where if you're not putting this guy on the field, you're hurting the team. I think he plays so well when he plays. You have to play this guy. So it's something that they're going to continue to test the rest of the way. I see another donation there. I really appreciate that. Another one, guys. Thank you so much for the donations tonight. Way too kind. Again, we do not ask for those things, but those things being offered to us are very, very kind. Very kind. Let's keep going and keep firing questions. We'll get to those in between opportunities. We're starting the second half now. Unfortunately, the Bengals went down and made it 17-10 right before the end of the half. Browns come out and get the football, and I like this play action concept right here. I really like flooding zones, but flooding them to a single short side of the field, I'm a big fan of it. So what you have going on the left side of your screen here, so what they're trying to do is sell what they've been typically doing, which is booting, selling here and booting back opposite. But instead, they're going to sell here, like they're going, obviously, this direction outside, but then they're going to pivot route them, run an angle sort of post, and then just sort of a shorter leveled into this void, and off the play action fake, your back is going to sneak out into the flat. But instead of Baker booting, he kind of play actions, turns like he's booting, and then sets up deep, which is important. Direction, safeties to turn their hips, all of it. And it's down the rush that direction too. So you'll see him set up. You see Jack Conklin there, number 78, doing a fantastic job as right tackle right here, doing a fantastic job flipping the hips and anchoring, right, dropping that right foot in the bucket, boom. You can see that big right foot, boom, get there, turn your hips. Look at that clean pocket, man. And this is an open throw. The corner does not react in time. It's wide open. Nice catch and run. End zone view gives us a great look at what that pocket looks like. Set up deep, clean pocket, drive the football, and that's simple enough. Turns into a 30-yard gain right there. So now 2nd and 7 on the same drive. Did see more. What I like to see, man, is under center straight drop. I think the Browns have two tendencies. They don't run enough from shotgun, and they don't throw the ball enough. Just straight up throw it. Not play action, but just straight up throw it from under center. I like the simplicity of this scheme, man. You're going to get 2 swing routes out of the backfield. Swing routes are just sort of big looping routes that are meant to be slow out of the backfield to give the quarterback time to read downfield and check it down to you late. You have a settle route right over the football. If they blitz over the middle, you can take advantage of that. And then you also have takeoff outside here and a curl at the top of the screen. So you're essentially reading to the top of the screen here, curl flat. Does the invert area defender, does the curl flat defender, does he chase the flat or does he squat in the window for the curl? He chases flat. It's an easy, simple throw. Like I said, I don't think you have to make it too difficult. Nice, easy throw, 11-yard gain, 7-step drop from under center, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, it's a 5-step drop. Sometimes they've been 7, sometimes they've been 5. This is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Read it, ball's out. Nice job by Chris Hubbard. Look at the anchor by the right guard here, dealing with this bull rush. Watch his feet. Look how deep he gets his feet behind. I'm sorry, I know I'm talking offensive line a little bit the last 2 plays. Watch how deep his feet get behind to anchor to allow Baker to deliver that ball. It's good stuff all around. Takes 11 guys, man. Really does. Sometimes 3rd and 6. This is a scheme I like. This is obviously Bryant stepping in for Hooper a little bit here. This is just a 3-by-1 where you know you're getting blitz-heavy scheme. So this is a scouted play. They know Cincinnati loves 3rd and medium. They love to blitz. We think we're going to get middle of the field open. I know Jesse Bates is a good coverage defender, but we think we can beat him with a tight end. 1, 2, 3, get the football out. Allow your tight end to make a play upfield. Turns into a 16-yard gain. Again, pretty simple. It's a first read throw, but you need your quarterback's eyes to be in the right spot to make this throw. And Baker does a nice job. He can take the takeoff to the top of the field to Higgins if he wants. Doesn't want to throw that back shoulder ball. Throw it quick, get it out, let him make a play. First down. Simple enough. Like it. And Bryant's good enough. I mean, he's not fast. He's certainly not the athlete Njoku is. He's certainly not, as consistent right now as Austin Hooper is. As you'll see Jed take a left hook to the head there and lose his helmet. But he's just solid, man. He's just a really solid, much like Higgins as a wide receiver, just a solid football player who does everything right all the time. That's why he's seen 35-plus snaps each week he's been a part of the Browns organization. So simple, clean, nice play. We'll take a question right after this last red zone play here. So we get tight motion. There's 2 options here. So Baker can read right or he can read left. I like this scheme a lot. I'll tell you why. Because it holds down defenders really, really well. Sort of little pick scheme going on here. He can throw this exchange if he wants to. He can throw that. Or he can throw where Peoples-Jones is curling up and Bryant's wheeling inside right here. Okay? So he's got 2 nice choice sides should he want to. If he feels like he's going to get zone, which they do end up getting a zone look to the front side here. Logan Wilson here, 55, inside linebacker. Has his eyes on right here. Sort of, it's just a cover 3 sort of look. It's interesting. It is cover 3 by nature because they're wheeling to the flat here with 3 over. But I just like his ability to read this window. Boom, once the football. He knows he has a squatting Mike, so he's got to shield Brian a little bit in this window from taking a direct contact. He can't lead him too far. Puts it on his back shoulder, which is what you want to see. He has his eyes left. He can throw left. I don't think he sees this window because, he could throw Jarvis if he wants to under this pick, but it just takes a little longer. I think he wants it to take. You can see his eyes. If you see his eyes sort of off the snap, they're left right here. And I think it's just what I like is that he's now able to look to hold a linebacker off. He's looking away from where he wants to come back to. We'll see it from the end zone view really well. I've started to notice it in the last 3 weeks where he knows where he wants to go with his first read. He is getting his eyes away from that first read for a split second. Look where his eyes are off the snap. Do you see that? He's trying to hold 59 out of this window. Comes back, shields him perfectly. That ball's delivered right where you'd like it to be delivered. Back shoulder, it doesn't take a hit from anybody, and it's a touchdown. It's good stuff. It's a really good throw. It's a really good read, too. Question time, if we have any, before we keep going here late into the third quarter. I haven't seen a Browns tight end make that so far in both phases. Look, Njoku had a nice rookie season. I'm happy he's a part of this team, and I believe in his future here if he wants to be here. He had a nice season as a young guy, 21 years old. But what Brian is doing in both phases, I think, is really, really impressive. And to come in from week 1 in Baltimore and play a ton of snaps and continue to do so, he's a really good player. And I think he's going to be a really good part of the future here. Not a huge fan of Hooper signing. I don't think he's great for how Baker uses tight ends. He loves more athletic tight ends. I don't think Bryant's that much. I think Bryant and Hooper are a lot the same. I think that Hooper and Baker have come on a little bit. Maybe if they had known that Bryant was going to be the player he's turned into, maybe they don't spend on that tight end. But at the same time, I think you had to get an insurance policy at that position. I think we'll continue to like Hooper more and more as the season goes on. I think Baker will keep giving him more opportunities. Thought Hooper had a really nice week against not Pittsburgh, whoever they played, the Colts before. I think he had a nice effort. I think he's going to keep getting more targets. And like I said, they're going to be tight end heavy the rest of the way. And Njoku's knee popped up again on the injury report. Not that he's not playing. I think he was a full participant. But you need depth at an important position like that. So they're happy with that. Yeah, I really do like how Kevin designs the schemes. I think he's doing a nice job play calling for his quarterback. I thought he did a nice job Sunday of getting the football, putting his quarterback in positions where he can get rid of the football quickly and make one-read throws and even come off of them when he does provide progressions. I thought he was able to provide him with some middle-of-the-field second reads that were really good. And two, I should say, like I said earlier, some simple stuff, slant flat, curl flat, things like that, just to get your quarterback in a nice rhythm. And it obviously manifested itself quarters 2 through 4. Any others? Do you think he's a good comparison for Higgins as Landry? Landry is a better version body control of Higgins. I think Higgins might run a little bit better. Flatline runner is a little faster. But Jarvis' is body control and his ability to catch the football in a variety of places. I think it's something that Jarvis is super unique at, and probably won't be many like him. And he's an interesting receiver, but his ability to catch the football in weird locations and hand-eye coordination, and also a hell of a thrower too, at another great 19-yard pass completion in this game, which is a nice weapon. I don't think those guys duplicate all too much. They do a little bit, but not a ton for me personally. Peoples-Jones involvement, he's going to have to keep playing. I think that with the injuries we've seen and now losing Odell, I think you're going to have to see more and more of Donovan. And I think if they put him on the right route concepts that don't involve a ton of twitchy breaks, such as double moves, if he doesn't get jammed at the line too often, so maybe he's, formations where he's off the ball a little bit instead of on the ball, I think that will help him too. And he can make one cut and go. Posts, corners, digs, things that don't involve a ton of breaks right now are better for him as a young wide receiver in the league. Any others? We're going to watch Baker, if you're going to coach Baker, what is one concept you use more that the Browns aren't currently using much? That's a great question, one I probably wasn't prepared for. I would continue to use a ton of pushing the football for vertical type concepts with him that allow him to pick apart seams with somebody over his eyes. I think that if you can give him opportunities to push the football down the field, but embed those schemes with simplistic schemes over the middle of the field, like drive, where you have a drag or a crosser and a dig route, I think those things are always good for him. His second, third read should be over the middle of the field as often as possible. All right, we're going to keep going. We'll come back and finish with more questions toward the end. We had a ton of great stuff to still get to. 22-17 at this point, still in the third quarter. Little under center action. I think we have another play action scheme here, very similar. The only reason I don't like this one as much is because the guys are wider and doesn't allow for as much room for Jarvis to make his break. I think maybe what they were trying to do was get Higgins here over top. I think they had an idea here that we could pull this shot right here, this shot play over the top to Higgins, and they had a chance at it, but Khalid Kareem here, 19, did a nice job sitting on the backside. And when he sits on the backside, as we see here, it makes for a difficult thing for a quarterback to throw deep. So instead, you get a nice completion out of it. The Bengals, like I said, were very, very much more disciplined in attacking the backside of boot fakes after week 2, where they were burnt pretty consistently. I would like that mesh to be a little bit better for the sell, but still get it out, still get a 6-yard gain, and those are okay. 6-yard gains are fine. 2nd and 10. This is what I like a lot about this game. He threw to his running back on checkdowns frequently, and I've been saying it for years. This guy's got to use his running back in checkdowns, and I don't care if you don't get a chance to read the entire field all the time. Obviously, this route, if you look at the bottom of the screen, you have a rail route here from number 2 that you could throw this football right here if you wanted to, but when they bail, vacate, the corner takes off, the slot chases number 2. Throw to your back and let Kareem Hunt get you easy yards. It's okay to throw to these guys. They get paid to catch the football too out of the backfield. Just put it in their hands, man. And I think he probably got 40 or 50 yards from Kareem just giving him simple throws like we see here. Yeah, you can make a throw downfield, but man, when it's 2nd and 10, 1st and 10, 2nd and 5, give your running backs chances to just catch the football and get you yards. Let them gain yards for you. I loved seeing that. It was an active part of what he's doing the last 2 weeks, and I'm a big believer in it. 3rd and 4. I think we're in the 4th quarter now. I could be wrong. We are in the 4th quarter now. So, again, motion out of the backfield. He's deciphering man. What tells him it's man-to-man? Oh, that's because when my running back leaves the backfield, guess who runs with him? A linebacker. Oh, okay. That tells me it's not zone. It's definitely man. Where do I want to pick on? Well, this safety is shading a little bit to the field side. Since this free safety is shading field, I really like my matchup on this slot corner right here. Got a nice little fade. This is my guy I love to throw back shoulder to. Put it on the back shoulder. Boom. That's good football. You even got Case Keenum over here doing some sort of jump celebration. I don't know what he's doing. Trying to stay warm. He's pumped up. That's the stuff. That's simple stuff, man. Like that's beautiful. Find your matchup. Set your feet and go to who you believe you should go to. And I even like here, he's reading off the snap. He's got his eyes middle. He might have wanted to go to his tight end, notices the linebacker squatting on it and comes back left side, throws a nice back shoulder throw. It's good football. And it's a connection him and Rashard have, this little back shoulder throw. Very next play, the same drive. I love leak concepts, man, and it doesn't always have to be your tight end that runs the leak. Heck of a block from 85 here, running down the line, blocking a defensive end. It's a great job. Joku had some opportunities missed as a blocker, but for one of his better games, I thought, in the past few years. Obviously didn't play a ton last year and hasn't played a ton this year, but I was very impressed. Nice job by Jed and Kareem at the top of the screen, but then all you do is get an over settle, so it's a deep over curl. Watch Jones settle it. If he notices that he has the whole side of the field to work with, so if Peoples-Jones is running this route, and as he runs here, if he notices this safety is flying, then he feels like he has this window, he can keep going. If not, if he notices this safety deep, he will just curl it up right here. And then you have Higgins selling down the line and then leaking up the sideline for a throw if he wants to make it. Nice job by Baker staying comfortable in the pocket, reading what he wants to read. He can throw the curl, or he notices he has a backer chasing 82. I can just throw this very simply to the back shoulder. Again, easy pitch and catch. He can throw either of those. I have no problem selecting this leak concept. It's a really well-placed back shoulder throw. Those two have nice timing on that. 2nd and 7 down on the goal line. This is fun. Flash little play action right here. He knows right away. Once I see this safety roll off the hash, I know I have this inside leveraged stick post route. Skinny. Boom, inside, touchdown. Great throw, great delivery, excellent stuff. He's in a rhythm, man. You can tell when he's doing this. He reads 30 off the hash. Look at his eyes on Bates right now. He reads him off the hash. Boom. Notice what he reads it. If you're paying attention at home, the eyes quickly go where they need to go. I don't know if this is going to play, if it's frozen. There we go. Finally. Watch how quickly his eyes go off the safety. Boom. Back to my skinny post. That's just excellent ball placement too, man. Look where that thing is. That's beautiful. I mean, you're not going to find better ball placement. It's a great throw. And you even get a nice little celebration from Higgins there at the end, giving him the old double finger point. It's funny. I had to tweet that out earlier. All right. Any questions before we keep going? Njoku's blocking this past game. Yeah, I touched on that, Sam. You view this stuff as well as I do, man. I thought it was one of his best performances as well. You're a smart dude, and for sure. Jarvis' injury is having a big effect on his game. I don't know if it's having a big effect on his game, but it is affecting it. I think it is causing him to take less snaps than he would like to take. Obviously, if you don't know, he's had the hip issue. He's got the rib issue. He needs the bye week desperately, and it'll help him rest up. But he's gutting it out, and he's doing well with what he's being asked to do for sure. Baker's playing great in clean pockets as seen by this game. Does this help him in dirty ones? I don't mind any situation where he gets a clear read and can deliver the football with confidence and accuracy. He has to get better navigating tough pockets. It's going to be whether he becomes a great quarterback or not depends on how well he can read disguise coverages and handle those dirty pockets or whatever you want to call them. So, I think it'll help him get his confidence up, and then hopefully he can translate that into playing with some air of calmness in chaotic pockets for sure. How Stefanski's play calling changed over the course of the game? I don't know if it changed necessarily. I think they were attacking the similar ways. I think they started to believe that what they were doing was going to be highly effective early on. They just missed a couple throws in the first quarter. That screen pass was missed. They missed that throw to, if you pay attention from the beginning of this, the throw to Jarvis. I think they missed a little bit, but they definitely wanted to attack with 3 5-step throws over the middle of the field. They wanted to come off play action. I don't think it changed a ton, but he definitely gave him throws at which Baker could make a decisive first read decision and go for right after it from there. So not a ton of things changed. I just think that they got rid of any sort of elongated gun step, big drop stuff, but they definitely attacked over the middle of the field and then put some basic concepts into slant flat, curl flat, those things they wanted to operate in. First time Baker's look very comfortable in the pockets. Does that only get better? Which, yeah, I think Chris Hubbard performed admirably in this game. I think he can keep getting better for Baker, but it's a repetition thing. We got to see him in games where he has to sit in. The Eagles will be a great challenge for him. The Texans will be a nice challenge for him from a defensive front standpoint. He's got games left. I mean, he obviously has Baltimore and he obviously has Pittsburgh left to prove himself, but any game where he can sit in the pocket and throw comfortably can only help you as you keep going into those dirty pocket games because you're feeling confident about getting the ball out quickly. And then hopefully he can, like I said, navigate some of those muddy pockets. We just got to see him keep getting better at it over time. Do you think this offseason production is substantial into the rest of the season as in 30-plus points a game? Yeah, I think they're gaining confidence. I certainly think they know they can score on people. I mean, you're putting up 37 points without Odell. I think they know they can score on people, and getting Nick Chubb back will only help. And they have a bevy of weapons, though. They don't really put anybody on the field who I think defenses can ignore. If you ignore Donovan Peoples-Jones, he's going to burn you. He burnt the Bengals a couple times. I think that's the difference between this Browns version and years we've seen 2018, 17, 16, 15 is they have people on the field that you could, for the most part, ignore. And I don't think that's something that they're putting on the field anymore. Pump faking a lot. I don't know that it's pump faking. I think it's more indecisiveness. I think that when you see him double clutch, it's less intentional, more I don't know what I'm seeing. I think we've seen a little bit less of it. He's especially in this game where he was very decisive and the picture was very clear for him. It's something he has to keep cutting out of his game. I certainly think that he's got to cut down on the pump faking, and not pump faking. It's more double clutching, not believing what he's seeing, and when you think you're seeing something and you're not, you have the tendency to pump fake a little bit, make it look like a pump fake when it's not actually a pump fake because he's just thinking he's ready to throw, but that's not what I thought it was going to be. I can't throw it quite yet. So I hope to see less and less of that personally, unless it's intentional pump faking, and you can tell the difference in that, in my opinion. Thank you, Francis, for the $5 donation. Really appreciate that. Let's keep going. We'll come back to questions at the very end and try to get to everybody. I think we're on the final drive here when it is – no, second to last drive. It's 27-24. This is a straight drop play action, which I like. Get a drag. Another levels concept, guys, right, where you're getting that post corner. You get a deep over route from 82 here, and you get 80 on a shallow. You got 3 level reads if you want to throw it. He knew what he had to go to. I like the step up in the pocket here. Coming off the fake, you got left side high pressure, right? Left side high pressure, step up. That's great to see. Step up, deliver, take a hit when you throw it. Doesn't matter. Deliver an accurate ball. Good throw. I think on this drive was where we saw the long catch by the Jarvis Landry throw. So we're down inside, and again, down inside, almost to the red zone, just outside the red zone. Again, another 5-step drop from under center. What does he do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Heavy bail. All 3 of these guys are heavy bail. Drop it to your running back, man. Under center is going to be a nice part of his repertoire moving forward in terms of being able to drop it to his back and let his back go make plays, because defenses initially gain depth. And when you're in the gun, they can recover from that depth. But if they're in the process of gaining depth, you can get it out to your back quickly. He threw one of these against Pittsburgh that Dearness Johnson dropped. Kareem Hunt catches both of these this week, and it's 17 free yards. He gains 11 yards on that catch. Simple stuff. The throw, the hyperbole question there, the last throw, was it the best of his career? It's a good throw. I don't know if it's the best, though, of his career, because he's got other ridiculous ones like Carolina's rookie year, and had a great throw against Atlanta that rookie year. But it's great to see. I really feel good about one of his better throws from a whole collective standpoint for the year. Simple concept here. I want to pinpoint it. He only has to read front side on this. This is a concept a lot of offenses run. Getting a corner out with a flat route, so they want to see, can you cover both of these? If the cornerback chases high in this line, can your running back just beat this linebacker right here to the flat and then beat him to the pylon? If the cornerback squats in cover 2, you have a chance to beat this safety right here one-on-one on the corner route. So you can take advantage of this. So just read it. Take advantage of what they give you. Very straightforward. The Bengals beat themselves here, and Baker takes advantage of it, right? You got a drive over route and a square in on the backside. Don't even need him. When 57 impacts the tight end, trips himself up, just get rid of the football to your running back. It's an easy tight end. Doesn't really get any easier than that. Thank you, Cincinnati, I guess. I mean, it's pretty simple, but, you take what you can get. So we're on the final drive. We record these on Game Pass from I have a software program called Camtasia. It's a TechSmith product for that person that asked that question. Sometimes I can see your questions as we go. Sometimes I can't. Try to get to all of them. Final drive here. So I'm not entirely sure what Baker's looking at here. I think this is one of the ones where I think he should have thrown it somewhere, but it ended up working out. He just has a simple slant route on the backside here. He has 3 vertical routes, an outside takeoff. And Cincinnati is sugaring up front. They're going to drop here. Then they're going to wheel here and bring 21 inside, heat up and overload the left side. So they do drop this player underneath and drop this player underneath, and there's nobody in the middle of, look at this drawing. That's just fantastic stuff. There's nobody in the middle of the field, but I don't think Baker sees it as quickly as I would like him to see it. I'd like him to see it right here. Clearly the Bengals dropped these two players underneath these vertical route curls. So you can't throw him. He hangs on this right side too long. He's got to know that if teams bring pressure, they're wheeling somebody off the backside. They're always going to replace the pressure. It's very rare you don't see teams replace the pressure side. They're bringing multiple guys off one side. They're going to replace the pressure side. See how they replace them? And what does that leave? It leaves this massive void right here. I would like for Baker's eyes to be left to make this throw right now. He does not read it that way. He could have also taken the honey hole shot. I think that's a weakness in Baker's game right now, is realizing cover two. He's got to have a better feel for cover two, when he can take the sideline hole shot throw in cover two. I would love to see him take that throw a little bit more. He is not doing enough of it, taking that hole shot throw in cover two. I would think that the Van Pelt is talking to him about it too. But again, I'd like to see him. His eyes are initially left. You'll see in the end zone view here, his eyes are initially left. I would like to see him just throw this slant. Like, they're wheeling away from it. Your eyes are on the left side right now. Just throw the slant right here. He's late with it. He comes back right. He has to deal with pressure. And listen, he does a great job getting out of the sack, extending the play, and finding Peoples Jones. But watch how open Jones is as he enters the screen. He's got to find him quicker. He's got to know where they're – again, teams are blitzing off the side. They're going to replace the blitz. Replace the blitz. That's what they're going to do. Think that way. Teams love to replace the blitz. It's rare they don't. Another nice back shoulder stop hitch. Good ball placement. Somebody was asking me earlier about the pump faking. When you're just a little early, watch his hands separate and double pump. When your timing's just a little off, or you don't believe what you see, you'll see that's not a pump fake. And that's what he does a lot of. Right there. I don't love that. He's got to get rid of those. Now, it ends up working out. He's got a great arm. He can get it there, but I don't love him. He's got to do better with losing that double clutch stuff. Now, listen, these are just two great throws, right? They're running drive on the backside with a crosser and a dig, and he has one-on-one on the right side. It's just a phenomenal throw, right? Like, you put it up and away. He knows the situation. They need a big chunk of yards. You can take the crossing route, and I would have been fine with it. Okay? Can take the crossing route, and that's fine with it. But ultimately, he knows he needs a big play and trusts his man one-on-one. Right there. That's fine. That's a great throw. Great ball placement, great catch. I don't love Bates knocking the ball out. I don't want to hear that's not legal, man. The ball is getting returned. He might have been strutting for just a second, but the ball is trying to get returned to the middle of the field, and there's 16 seconds left on the clock. You can't do that. And he does it twice. That should be called. I'm just saying. It should be called. All right, so final throw. It's a great throw. Looks like we got verticals across the field. He knows that what the Bengals are trying to do is rob any middle breaking route. So they'll squat. This is a similar coverage to what Pittsburgh ran when they intercepted the first throw of the game for the Browns, the second throw of the game against Pittsburgh last week. They robbed the middle of the field, or lurk. Some will call it cover one lurk. They'll step this guy down into the middle, and then they'll play, man free over top, rob any in breaking routes. The Browns run 4 verticals, and he just he selects Peoples Jones on the outside here. It's the right read, it's the right throw, and it's a great throw and a great catch. And that's a wrap. That's a touchdown throw. That's a come from behind victory. That's everything we wanted to see from Baker. Multiple comeback drives in the fourth quarter to give his team the lead, and that's ball game. It's a great game. It's listen, I know Cincinnati didn't make it overly challenging, ridiculously challenging, but it's a great game. for him. I mean, you had to deliver throws, you had to deliver them accurately, and he did. And that's what you want to see. Like I said, not an all-world challenge, but still a great game. That's what you want to see from him. So questions as we wrap up. It seemed like Hodge a very reliable target in the past. What are your thoughts? It didn't seem. I've had no problem with Kadarius Hodge. I think they've connected well this year. I think he'll be fine. I don't have any reason to think he won't be a good fit for what they're doing still, and he'll provide depth. He's a similar player to the cast of guys they have in there this year. Njoku out wide more now. Maybe they could put him at X. They can put him in the slot. It could do any number of things to put him in a position to go up and get the football against smaller DBs. So I think they'll still be fine. I think they'll put him all over the field. They could put him out wide a little bit more, but they really like, so far I've seen they like Peoples-Jones and they like Higgins playing outside. So I think that might not change all too much. In the future, say we trade Odell, what type of receiver do you think the Browns should go after? A speedster, a guy like CeeDee Lamb? This is a great wide receiver class coming in. They might take somebody out of that class, maybe Seth Williams. I haven't studied this class a ton to know, but they're going to take somebody they have another third-round pick in there, an extra third. I would expect that they draft another wide receiver. Even if they hold on to Odell for another year or two, they're going to probably invest a first 3-round pick on a wide receiver, somebody that they believe can be kid out of Florida State whose name's escaping me at this time, but they'll go get somebody. I believe they will. What are your thoughts on Adam Thielen? Look, I mean, Stefanski knows him well. He really likes him. It's a great route runner, very nuanced route runner, creates separation through route nuancing, like I said, different cuts, setup moves, different release styles. Not, like I said, not a burner, but a guy who gets open through the route nuances. So, they could go after Thielen, but me personally, I'm not paying double-digit money to a wide receiver right now. They can't. It just doesn't make sense for paying for multiple years of an expensive receiver when you can go draft somebody that you like a lot and still be okay. So I would be surprised if and Adams approaching 30. Play calling, I don't think it'll have much effect. I think they'll still use Nick how they use him. He catches the ball well enough that it shouldn't be a problem. That when he comes back, I don't see it changing very much at all. He can catch those swing routes too out of the backfield. So yeah, I don't think it'll change much. It just felt like the kind of game the team would have found a way to lose in the past. The difference, good coaching. Yeah, absolutely. Good coaching, good, all of it. I think that consistency, catching the football, a quarterback that had the confidence to talk about the right thing. This was a game they needed. They needed to come back and win this game so that they could believe that they could come from behind and win a game, and that they could believe that they can believe in Baker Mayfield to bring them from behind. This game was a type of game that can swing your season. Dropping to 4-3 right there before coming home before the bye was huge. They can go into the bye 6-2, or they could have, very easily have a challenge to go 4-4 into the bye. So this was a huge game for their confidence in many, many ways, and a huge game for a playoff picture type scenario too. Does Baker have the ability to read against less straightforward defenses? To be determined. Have to see more of it. Have to see him work in dirty pockets more. Have to see him stay calm in chaos. Have to see him work against teams that disguise coverage a lot. I don't think the Raiders will do a ton of that, but they might. They might game plan in a ton of that. So we'll see. To be determined on that question. Good question. Anything else? Baker's last, though, I touched on this. It's one of the better throws of his season. Not of his career, but certainly of his season. Do you believe this group of receivers is very similar to his rookie? Yes, I do. I do think so. They probably need somebody that can take the top off of a defense, whether that's bringing back Damian Ratley as a burner type, somebody off a practice squad. I think that they would benefit from having somebody that they can send deep and can go get a football 50, 60, 70 yards down. 70 is crazy. 50 or 60 yards downfield. Baker's last throw looked like it could have been picked off. Does a better defender have a chance to intercept it? I think it's high and outside. I don't think it could have a chance to be knocked away, but with the defender face guarding him like that, I certainly think that you have to put it on the sideline like he did. I don't think it's a bad throw at all. I think it's right where you want it to be on the sideline. I didn't have a problem with it. A defender turns around and doesn't get a hand on it. I mean, even if it's knocked away, you're still in field goal range. So I didn't have a problem with that throw location at all personally. What are your thoughts on the culture Stefanski has set up? Whenever I watch the interviews, they all have the same mindset, whatever it takes to win. Yeah, it is. Every time I hear Kevin Stefanski talk to the team, the media about philosophy. I certainly think he's a step in the right direction from a leadership standpoint, from a culture standpoint, from a belief in the group of guys in the locker room standpoint, all that stuff. I think it's a great step. Any others? All right, that's a wrap. This is good. And I will try to, if you have a question that you would like to be asked, you can DM me on Twitter. If you have one that I don't get to on here, I'll try to, when I hang up on here, get into the OBR account and answer any questions at the bottom or any questions people come up with. Listen, there's some great donations that are way too kind. I thank you guys for joining us. Really appreciate everybody's support with this. We're going to keep doing it. We might make it an OBR exclusive thing here in the future. For sheer enjoyment of people who believe in us and support us at the OBR. If you're not a member at the OBR, we would love it. We have great discounts going right now, and it's not just film breakdowns. You get Rumor Central content. You get specific all 22 notes and discussions that come from games from a whole team standpoint, and you get the ability to ask insiders questions whenever you want it. So I appreciate everybody joining us. Hopefully we will catch you soon, and hopefully we can come back after another victory Monday and do one more of these next week and do it on Tuesday. So again, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you guys as always, and go Browns.